Avengers Endgame was a culmination of 11 years of world building and 22 films, and audiences ate it up like a big fat turkey on Thanksgiving Day. The Marvel Cinematic Universe pulled a feat no other franchise had, before or since, delivering spectacular thrills and unforgettable moments while tying all its loose ends in a messy but still attractive way. It wouldn't be an overstatement to call Endgame the event of a lifetime, even if the declaration will make some film purists cringe. The film and the entire MCU concept was an undertaking of Herculean proportions and was successfully pulled off, dazzling audiences and leaving them in shock and awe at the overindulgence they witnessed on the big screen. The post-Endgame landscape, however, is drastically different, and all this started even from the roots, but those issues weren't present in the cinematic universe. Gone are the thrills and surprises that builds the Marvel legend, replaced with gender and race swapping just for the sake of it and not because of necessity, one of the main examples being Taskmaster, who was and is still a male in the source material. Some of the things causing these are as follows: losing touch of the source material, which is what made it popular in the first place, rushing the introduction of some of the best female characters, source material wise, just to prove a point, which ultimately hurts their own development and in the long run makes them bland characters, retiring fan favorites early, constant cameos, and increasingly forgettable post-credit scenes meant to set up the next chapter in a seemingly endless book. Marvel's once united fanbase is now split down the middle, with those savagely defending it against any form of criticism on one side and those who feel betrayed by the once mighty franchise on the other. Phase 4's projects have been divisive and uneven. Critics are now less willing to overlook Marvel's mistakes because they are more glaring than ever, flaunting themselves in our faces as if daring us to call them out. One of the studio's most recent efforts, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, received mixed reviews, just like Thor: Love and Thunder, Eternals, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and Black Widow before it. So it's not even a matter of whether Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is enjoyable in and of itself, but rather if it's successful in setting up the Young Avengers or not. The only genuinely decent movie in this phase, in my opinion, was Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, of which we may never even see any of these characters again. Fans and even certain critics love saying one of the main reasons for MCU's success was on its ability to create one continuous story and keeping its audiences invested. Some people say streaming accelerated MCU's fall from grace. It's a strong case for how the Disney Plus shows and their arrival accelerated MCU's decline. Marvel and Disney never had any desire to explore or develop these characters. It can be argued that WandaVision's main purpose was to introduce two of the Young Avengers, Wiccan and Speed, and set up Wanda for the Multiverse of Madness. Moon Knight was deliberately set apart from other Marvel projects with no unnecessary references or setups, but still failed to really make the character memorable. 2.5-hour films whose only purpose is to have a 20-second post-credit scene is one thing. However, fans aren't willing to spend 8 hours on a rambling story and receive only a measly post-credit scene in return. It tried to cut corners and replicate its big screen success on the small screen without putting in the work or trying to create content suited for this new medium. In the notorious and still divisive Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, Zack Snyder famously, or shall I say infamously, introduced 3 Justice League members via 10-second videos from security camera footage. Was this really the way the DCEU plans to introduce its Justice League? Whereas the MCU spent that time introducing each prominent Avenger character via a standalone project, or in Black Widow's case, by sticking her in every Captain America film. The DCEU built its Justice League via camera footage.
The security camera footage you're watching.
Fans sneered at the DCEU, laughing at them and putting Marvel on a pedestal, praising it for taking years and taking their time to build its universe. Cut to 6 years later, and Marvel did the same exact thing as DCEU, and the result was the same. Color me surprised.
Color me amazed.
The VFX teams have openly expressed their dislike for Marvel, calling them the worst clients they've ever worked for, and openly criticizing their tight schedules and unrealistic expectations. Overworked, overstressed, underpaid artists are rushing against the clock to finish the VFX for the latest MCU projects and delivering subpar results, but who can even blame them? It's not like the Marvel team has their back. On the contrary, they're the first ones to go to Vanity Fair and throw them under the bus for cheap laughs.
Okay. Does that look real? In that particular shot, no, actually. It doesn't really, right? When you look close.
You need to be more blue.
Well,
you know,
no.
does he look real?
No, none of
Does
us.
she look-
Something looks very off about this. But I don't know.
These days, that's all the MCU is. Cheap laughs, cheap plots, cheap VFX shots, and cheap thrills. How can a film with $200 million budget come out cheap? But audiences are tired of cheap products and can no longer ignore or contain their unhappiness. To be fair, it's not like the MCU is struggling box office-wise. Audiences still like their Marvel content, they just don't love it anymore. Once, it was unimaginable to think fans might not be excited about the next MCU project. Nowadays, it's happening before our eyes. Is it so ridiculous to say the MCU's glory days are behind it? I think not. Its charms are wearing off fast, but it doesn't seem anywhere near done. Recently, Marvel President Kevin Feige and his team went on a retreat to plan the next 10 years of MCU content. However, the MCU was still exciting in 2008 and 2014. It was full of promise and originality, and had audiences eating from the palm of its massive hand.
Bow before my massive meaty hands!
The MCU is no longer exciting. After a series of disappointing shows and films, can we honestly say we are looking forward to another season of She-Hulk? Heck, Hercules appeared in Thor Love and Thunder's end credit scene, and the internet was as silent as black bolts. Hardcore fans know Phase 4 is building towards the Secret Wars storyline, an event that pits multiple versions of multiple characters in a Super Smash Bros. Style tournament. But whereas the comic book storyline was a character study of the rivalry between two of Marvel's most intriguing and complicated figures in Mr. Fantastic and Dr. Doom, the MCU's version will probably be a collection of cameos held together by a sorry excuse for a storyline and some very dirty-looking scenes. It's hard being excited about something when we know it's going to be awful. The MCU once trained us to expect wonder and spectacle from its films. What was once a promise now seems like a warning. The next film is going to be as bad. Just wait and see.
Wait and see. Just wait and see.
Marvel must really stop half-assing its films and shows and start living up to its reputation as a game changer. Anyway, if you guys want me to make more videos elaborating on any specific points I mentioned, or want me to review or talk about any other thing, let me know in the comments. But for now, Charlie, that be all I get talk. We go crush.